there's more. Now we get to the hard part. Okay. That was page 1. Now we got compositions of functions. So here we get the new concept. Go down to a new page. So evaluate each expression would be what I did at the very beginning, like f of 2 is 20. Yeah. Okay. Hang on, let me find my page here. Compositions. Alright, so let me do 2 new functions here. I'm going to call f of x, x minus 2, and g of x, x squared. Now this new operation, called a composition, is written as, you might write it as f parentheses g parentheses x, or it can be written as f composed is a little o, g. Yeah, I like that it often writes fog, or golf if we do g composed with f. Then it can be other funny words if we're using other letters. Like you could compose h with t and have hot. But, okay. Anyway. So with this reads f composed with g. Okay. So let's compose f with g. So let's find f of g of x. Oh, hang on. Let's do a number here. We'll do f of g of 3. F composed with g at 3. No, I'll show you examples with the number and I'll show you examples without the number. Okay, it's a 2-step process. First step process is do the inside function. So I'll say evaluate the inside function. And step 2 is to take the output of step 1 so I guess I should number these 1 and 2 and put it into the outside function. And evaluate there. Okay, got to remember what my functions were here. Come on. X minus 2 and x squared. Alright. So f of g of 3. First thing I do is I evaluate g of 3. G was x squared. G of 3 is 3 squared. That's 9. That's step 1. Now that I have the g of x, I put that into the f function. The f, yeah? No, it's not times. It is not g times 3. It is the function g evaluated at 3. That means wherever you see an x, you put in a 3. G of x is x squared, so g of 3 is 3 squared. Okay? Made it up. We're gonna, well, that's the problem I'm giving you, f of g of 3. Okay? Now I take the 9 and I put it into the f function. Oh, because g of x is x squared. I just defined it that way. And f of x is x minus 2. I've defined my function so that I can do an example problem. Okay? So that's why I squared it. For no other reason than that's the problem I gave you. Kids? Okay? So f of x is x minus 2. So f of 9 is 9 minus 2 is 7. So f composed with g at 3 is 7. I defined my my function g. Remember, g of x was x squared, and f of x was x minus 2. Okay, so that's why when I evaluate f of g at 3, first I square the 3, I put it into the g function, I get a 9 out. Now I take that 9 and I put it into my f function, which was x minus 2, so 9 minus 2 is 7. We'll do this again. Let's try g composed with f at 12. Okay? Step number 1 is I find f of 12. F of 12, f of x was x minus 2. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a 12. So f of x is 12 minus 2. That's 10. Then I put that 10 into the g function. So g of 10, g of x is x squared. So 10 squared is 100. So that means g of f of 12 is equal to 100. I take the function to the right, or the inside function, and I evaluate it at 12. I get a number. That number is 10. Okay? That's the number that I put into the function on the left, the outside function. Yeah. Yeah, you got to do those 2 steps. Okay? You do the f first and then the g. Yes. Yeah. You do the one on the right first and then you do the left. Okay. You want one more? Yes, sir. Where did I get 12? That was the problem I made up. I said, let's find g composed with f at 12. Okay? All right. You want to do one more? Okay. So let's make this one really fun. I'm going to call f of x 3x plus 2. I'm going to call g of x negative x minus 1. And the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to find f composed with g at negative 4. You also might be asked this question this way: f parentheses g parentheses negative 4, close up all the parentheses. That means the same thing. Okay. First, no, because you're going to be asked the question in 2 different ways. And they mean the same thing. Okay. All right, first I do the inside function. I do the function on the right. G of negative 4. G of negative 4 means where I look at my g function, wherever I see an x, I replace it with a negative 4. So that means minus 4 plus 1. Negative of negative 4, opposite of negative. Thank you.